Fisker has cut its production forecast for the year due to supply chain troubles, the brand has said. Its original projection was to manufacture 30,000 to 36,000 EVs in 2023. It slashed its forecast to 20,000 units. The production woes are contributing to its operational losses. The brand lost $88 million in Q2 of 2023, slightly less than the $89 million it lost in Q2 of 2022. The company said that it lost $120 million in the first 3 months of the year. But it claims, surprisingly, that it will actually make a profit in the fourth quarter of this year. Fisker, they have just unveiled 4 new electric car models. However, we did also learn on the same day that Fisker has revised its production numbers for the Fisker Ocean. A lot of people are getting caught up in the hype of Fisker. They're buying Fisker stock. They think that Fisker is the next Tesla. It could even be better than Tesla. I mean, look, they have now 5 different models of car that you can already order. Are they doing amazing things? Could they be about to blow up like Tesla? Should I go and order a Fisker car? I mean, their new pickup truck, it's fascinating. It looks amazing. Their new small electric SUV actually looks pretty damn amazing as well, I have to say. In fact, all their models look fantastic. But before you go ahead and buy their stock or buy their cars, maybe it's worth having a quick look at the history of this company and the man behind it. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sam Evans. I'm the Electric Viking. Fisker Automotive was an American company founded in 2007. It was known for producing the Fisker Karma, one of the world's first production luxury plug-in hybrid vehicles. The company was founded by Henrik Fisker, a Danish automobile designer, not an engineer, a designer. The company received significant private and public investment, including millions of dollars from Leonardo DiCaprio, who ruse that investment, and a $530 million loan from the federal government. The company raised more than $1 billion from private investors such as the Kleiner Perkins venture capital firm. Most of those people wish they never ever heard of Fisker. The company repeatedly missed production deadlines. The production of the Fisker Karma was suspended in November 2012, with about 2,450 Karmas built since 2011 and just over 2,000 cars sold worldwide. Now, I should remind you that Fisker have just given a change in guidance to their deliveries this year. They revised those numbers down. They have a history of doing this. This is not the first time. The New York Times described the company as the Solyndra of the electric car industry and a debacle. The company's federal loan was suspended in 2011. The government recovered some of the investment funds, but it lost $140 million US, or the equivalent to today of around $200 million. In February 2014, Fisker Automotive's Karma vehicle design, tooling and manufacturing facility in Delaware were purchased by Chinese auto parts conglomerate Wangxiang Group. In 2016, that company would rename the holding company to the assets of Fisker Automotive to Karma Automotive. Following Fisker Automotive's structured bankruptcy auction in February 2014, Henrik Fisker retained the Fisker logo and trademarks. Since then, Fisker Inc., as it's now called, after it rose from the ashes of bankruptcy to rename itself, well, basically the same name, just with the word Inc. on the end of it, has had, some relative success, but also some pretty significant failures, ones that you probably haven't heard about. The Fisker Ocean was revealed recently, and yes, it does appear to be a pretty damn impressive car at a good price. However, it's had 3 unsuccessful and fairly terrible partnerships and initiatives that have simply failed completely. One of those include a nanotech partnership. In 2016, Fisker Inc. teamed up with Nanotech Energy to create a joint venture called Fisker Nanotech. Jack Kavanagh was the chairman, and they worked on developing a next-generation supercapacitor technology using graphene. The proposed hybrid battery, which Fisker said would be amazing and change the electric car as we know it, used graphene supercapacitors and had the potential for improved energy conducting and charge capabilities, plus significantly greater energy density than the batteries being used at the time. In addition, Fisker claimed it had a much better cycle life. It publicly made these claims in order to attract new investment. The battery, they said, would not need to be replaced and would last for many years longer than existing battery technology. In July 2017, a year later, Fisker Inc. ended its joint venture with Nanotech Energy to produce batteries using graphene. And the supercapacitor dream officially ended. Shortly after that, on the 17th of November 2017, Fisker Inc. announced that it had filed patents for a flexible solid-state battery, expecting the batteries to be produced on a massive global scale around 2023. A prototype of the battery, which included 2170 NCM cells, in other words, those are the batteries that Tesla currently uses for many of their electric cars, from LG Chem, debuted at the Consumer Electronics Show in January of 2018. Fisker's development team included Fabio Albano, one of the founders of SAC T3, the solid-state battery startup sold to Dyson in 2015. Solid-state batteries have the potential for much greater energy density and faster charging times than lithium-ion batteries. In October of 2018, Fisker announced new funding through Caterpillar Venture Capital, a subsidiary of the Caterpillar Inc. heavy machinery manufacturing company, with the money going toward development of Fisker Inc.'s solid-state battery technology. In 2021, Fisker officially dropped plans to use solid-state batteries and admitted that it had failed in its quest for even making a workable prototype. Henrik Fisker stated that the company could not make the technology work successfully. Not long after, the Fisker Pear was revealed, Fisker's new electric car. And now, today, Fisker have unveiled an incredible 4 new electric cars. That's more than what Tesla would unveil within the space of a few years. So how is it that this tiny company has the funding, the tooling, and the ability to mass produce 5 different models of electric car within a very short space of time? Well, I have absolutely no idea what the answer to that question is, and I don't think anyone does, to be honest. But if you're willing to take a risk, you can place an order right now for any of those models. In fact, Fisker will happily take your deposit for a delivery in, well, apparently his team have told him 2025, but he's saying he's pushing them to deliver to you in 2024. So what cars have Fisker unveiled? The Ronin, the Pear, the Alaska, and the Force E. So the Ocean SUV will be joined by an electric hatchback, a Grand Tourer, and a pickup truck. However, taking center stage at the live event today was the Ronin electric supercar. Fisker says it will have 600 miles of range, 1,000 kilometers, and it will be a technological masterpiece. It and all the other models of EVs that it revealed today will have the computing power of essentially a supercomputer. They will be next level data centers. That's what Fisker says, with many, many teraflops of computing power. They'll put other electric cars on the market to shame with their technological prowess, their lightweight, and their incredibly affordable prices. All sounding a little bit too good to be true? Well, hey, who knows? Maybe they're amazing. Maybe the prices are incredible and the product is equally as incredible. But considering Fisker's recent history, I am just a little bit skeptical. Are you? Guys, honestly, let me know in the comments what you think. Fisker also unveiled their new supercomputer, which will debut in the Pear, and apparently also come in its other EVs. The most anticipated reveal was the Fisker Pear, which I think has some fantastic innovations. For one, you can order it if you want with 6 seats. That's a brilliant idea. There are so many families who need a car that has more than 5 seats, but they can't really afford a 7-seat or a 6-seat 3-row car. I really like that idea. It's like a lot like American pickup trucks where a lot of them have 3 seats in the front. Fisker has said this new pair model will debut at $29,000, and it has some absolutely, to be honest, intriguing and very useful innovations. One of those, aside from its new incredible supercomputer, is the fact that the rear door, as in the rear hatch that swings open, doesn't swing. It simply uses electric motors to go down into the base of the car. What that means is if someone drives in really close behind you, it doesn't matter. The digital door at the back will actually simply move into the car and it doesn't need to swing open, meaning you have complete access to the rear of the car. It's a brilliant idea, but I have absolutely no idea how Fisker will be able to manufacture such a product as this and price it at only $29,000. To me, that sounds very optimistic. Now, because it will be made in the United States, it will qualify for the US $7,500 tax incentive, meaning you can get one in theory, I say in theory because I'm a bit skeptical, for $22,500. That's amazing. The Fisker pair will ride on the company's new SLV1 platform. It uses apparently 35% fewer parts than everyone else, and a dual motor all-wheel drive will be standard with a range of 300 miles. Next, Fisker unveiled the Ronin. The Ronin is a 4-door electric supercar. It's made of carbon fiber. It has a hard top that electrically moves back and folds itself into the car. And it should have a 1,000 horsepower, a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of just 2 seconds, and arrive by the end of 2025. But you can reserve one now if you want to pay them $2,000. I don't believe that's refundable though, so up to you. Fisker also unveiled the Alaska, their pickup truck. Looks pretty damn cool. I'm a big fan. It's a fairly small pickup truck. It's probably the smallest one that I've seen so far. Obviously much different in size to something like a Ford F-150 or a Chevy Silverado. In fact, it's smaller than a Ford Ranger. It has a bed of 4.5 feet. However, it does have the ability to have the mid-gate function, a lot like the Chevy Silverado EV. You can essentially fold down the gate that separates the bed from the cab, giving you heaps of extra space. In theory, you can turn a 4.5 foot bed into the space of a 7.5 foot bed. Now, it is a very small car. The cab is small, the tray is small. I do like it though. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's very, very practical. It looks extremely impressive. Fisker say it will be the lightest electric truck in the world. Now, that's obviously a load of nonsense because there's probably 20 or 30 different models of very light electric pickup trucks you can buy in China, which are smaller than this and of course much, much lighter than this could ever be. However, I'm sure it will be the lightest electric pickup truck on sale in the United States if it arrives, or when it arrives, I should say. Expected range and price. Now, incredible price. The price, Fisker say, will be $45,000 for the base model, meaning qualifying for tax incentives, $37,900 after your rebate. Range. The company hasn't really committed to a range, but it says that it will be 230 to 340 miles of range. However, Fisker have made some interesting claims. They say there'll be a version with a 113 kilowatt hour battery, which will get 440 miles of range. That's about 700 kilometers from a pickup truck with a battery that's not really that big. We'll see if those range claims are true. Hopefully they are. That would be pretty amazing. Like I said, the price for the base model, $45,000. The Fisker Force E was also unveiled. It's an adventure-ready version of the Ocean. It has chunky, big 33-inch tires, off-road tires, 21-inch aluminium aero wheels. No idea why you put 21-inch wheels on a rugged off-road SUV. It makes no sense at all, but it does look kind of cool. Extra wide fenders and a massive roof rack. The Force E is an add-on package you can get for Fisker Ocean vehicles. It does have some pretty cool features. It's got more ground clearance, a protective underbody bash plates, structural front and rear skid plates, special dampers for going off-road, and improved approach and departure angles. It'll be available in the first quarter of 2024, say Fisker. What about the supercomputer? The supercomputer will go into all of Fisker's new cars. It's called the Blade. The supercomputer looks like a tiny box, but it appears to pack an incredible specification, which is making some people question Fisker's claims. But hey, You never know, they could be true. Now, it delivers an insane claimed computing speed of 6.2 teraflops. 1 teraflop, for reference, can deliver 1 trillion floating point operations per second. It's upgradable apparently and supports multiple functions like 5G, Wi-Fi, and multi-gigabit Ethernet. Fisker says all of its cars will be like mini data centers on wheels as a result of this new computer. This computer should also, they claim, enable artificial intelligence capabilities which can predict failures before they even occur. It's worth pointing out though, in the first quarter of this year, Fisker did lose $120 million US. At the moment, the company, it's living on borrowed time. Its losses are mounting. It obviously is making a loss because it's investing a lot of money into producing these new cars. Will it pay off? Will this company still exist in 5 years' time? Will it go bankrupt? Personally, I think you already know what I think. I've already expressed the history of the man behind this company. He's the designer. He's a dreamer. And it's very easy to get caught up in the charisma of the man. The products themselves look fantastic. The designs he's come up with are brilliant. I love the designs. I think they all look great. These are great looking cars. If this man was working as a designer of BMW would probably sell twice as many cars. They should hire him. But, of course, they won't. Why? Because, he should get out of this with a lot of money. The man, of course, profited massively when Fisker raised huge amounts of capital through a reverse merger. We're otherwise known as a SPAC. It's a publicly listed stock as a result, and they've been able to raise huge amounts of cash to get the company off the ground and to begin tooling to produce these cars. Now, the reason I'm so skeptical and I don't believe this company will exist in 5 years or 10 years time from now is because it's being far too ambitious. Now, if it had chosen to do something like Rivian and produce one car, do it really well, and produce as many of that one model as it possibly can, I think it would have had a chance. But of course, it's doing kind of a Neo type thing. Conquer the world, bring out their most revolutionary products, claim that you're making them at a much lower cost than everyone else. Apparently, you're doing things much more efficiently with far fewer parts, working parts, but then at the same time, invent these new electric doors and new things for your cars and making them actually appear to cost more than the competition, yet claim that they don't. It all sounds too good to be true. And I believe that whilst Henrik Fisker is a massive optimist and a dreamer, he's not really being realistic. So those are my thoughts, but let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching.